we do think that Apple will for sure introduce new iPhones. We think they'll introduce higher performing versions, essentially of the four phones that they're offering today, likely at the same price points. Typically, Apple has what we call S cycles, which are more evolutionary every second year. Last year, the big innovation was 5G, slightly larger screen, better camera functionality. We think this will be more evolutionary, faster processors, slightly better camera functionality, but essentially the same form factors and prices. And so we expect the announcement to be largely focused on iPhones and the devices themselves to be a bit more evolutionary this year.
So that's the hardware side of things. On the software or services revenue side of things, your recent note pointing to the fact that their revenues from Google, you think, are a lot higher than previously thought. And what's your take on whether that's a good or a bad thing?
Well, it's a bit of both. So we believe that this year Google will pay Apple $15 billion to be the default search engine on iOS. And so when you do a search on your iPhone, by default, it's going to Google. We believe Google probably generates about $50 billion in revenue on iOS, and it's effectively paying Apple an access fee that's $15 billion. It's almost all pure profit. It's more than 10% of the profits of Apple. It's a very, very substantial number, and it's been growing faster than services and faster than Apple overall. In some senses, it's a good thing. On the other hand, one could say, look, this is a lot of money. Regulators are starting to look at both Apple and Google from a antitrust and monopolistic perspective in terms of their share of the smartphone market and operating systems. And so there's regulatory risk, and there's, quite frankly, also this risk that Google one day might say, you know what, our brand is strong enough. We think most people will go to Google anyway to do their search. So do we continue to need to pay Apple this amount? And so on one hand, it's a testament to the strength of Apple's installed base. On the other, there is certainly risk because it's a big part of Apple's profit stream.